What were your initial reactions when you hear the news that Maduro is gone?
To be honest with you, it's one of incredible disbelief. And the reason is you've got to look at it like this. Hugo Chavez came to power in 1999 in a democratic election, which he won fair and square and by a landslide, with a leftist populist message, which was the old elites are corrupt, which they were. You can't trust the politicians, which you couldn't. I'm the future. I'm going to redistribute wealth. And to a huge swathe of the population that were trapped in poverty, despite the fact that Venezuela should be one of the richest nations on earth, that was an incredibly appealing message. Fast forward to 2013, where the country had been driven into poverty, widespread corruption meant that the vast majority of the money from the petroleum got funneled into the pockets of Chavez and his cronies. And bear in mind that the Venezuelan economy was at that point 97% dependent on petroleum. So the reality is the rest of the economy was minimal in comparison. The vast majority of that money was going to Chavez and his cronies, and the people were left to starve. At that point, Chavez was dying of stomach cancer in 2013, and he appointed his successor, Nicholas Maduro, who you can see on the screen. Now, that was very surprising for Venezuelans at the time, because Nicholas Maduro wasn't the most talented of politicians. He wasn't the smartest, he wasn't the sharpest, he wasn't the most politically astute. But what Nicholas Maduro was at the time was he was a loyalist. He could be trusted to enact Chavez's instructions to the letter. And Maduro came to power in 2013. And at that point, there was a slight wave of optimism in Venezuela because they were thinking to themselves, things couldn't get worse. But unfortunately, they did. And as Maduro went on in his reign, so things got progressively worse and worse and worse for Venezuelan people.